Good evening to everybody. This is Tonino Habana. Welcome to another edition of Libertas. Since this week is the week of love because we just celebrated Valentine's Day yesterday, our guest for tonight, this will be a first on Libertas, is actually a couple that is in the service. So they're private partners or partners in private, pero they're also partners in public service. So I'm very happy to introduce two lieutenant colonels. To my left is Lieutenant Colonel Diane de Vera. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
And her partner, her husband, also in public service, Lieutenant Colonel de Vera. So pareho po silang nasa government service at pareho silang nagsiservisyo sa Armed Forces of the Philippines. And to properly set the mood for this interview, meron kaming present na konting video about them. Please play the video. Ayan po, yan yung short video presentation natin about them. So, aside from being with the AFP as reservists, they're also both government lawyers, occupying high positions. One is with the executive branch, and the other one is actually in the judiciary. Huwag na lang natin banggitin yung position nila doon. Let them explain. Ma'am, I'll start off with you, ladies first. How did you join the military? Bakit po kayo sumali sa military?
Napasama ako sa military because of my husband. Should I tell the story?
Inutusan ba kayo para sumali sa military? Or ito kusan loob? Or paano ba yan?
Sa pilitan.
Sa pilitan?
Sa pilitan.
Was it part of your marriage when you proposed, kailangan pareho tayong sumali sa military? Or ano ba yan?
Hindi naman. Kasi we worked in the same government office before. He was my boss. And then
He was your boss?
He was my boss.
Okay.
He was the branch clerk of court.
Did he exert anything extraordinary in order to convince you that you should marry him? Hindi naman.
The matchmakers were the presiding judge.
The presiding judge was the matchmaker. You were working for the judiciary.
For the judiciary.
For a
we
judge.
worked for the regional trial court before.
Okay.
I was the court interpreter and he was the branch clerk of court.
Wow.
We were both single at that time, and then the presiding judge and the judge in another court who became a justice, they were the ones who really prodded us to get to know each other.
Wow. So they introduced you and then they were pushing you so that you could, Tama po ba yan? Is that the correct account, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello. Yeah, we first met in regional trial court way back 1997.
And how long was the courtship?
1 year lang po.
1 year.
So,
1 year lang. And that's supposed to be long or short or in today's...
for us that time, that was enough for us because we've been also in a past relationship. Then, so 1 year is already enough, and we already decided to get married.
Okay, so you were working under one judge, and I would presume that judge became your ninong or ninang.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
tama ako dun.
Of course, they became
And
our
then the
ninangs.
justice also became part a ninong or a ninang? Hindi naman.
There were both the ninangs during the wedding.
How sweet. Ang ganda naman ng romantic story ninyo. So, paano pumasok yung AFP dito? Teka, medyo hindi na yata romantic yung AFP
Ay, hindi
portion na yan.
talaga.
So ano nangyari? So you fell in love, you were working in with a judge as both government lawyers, and then did you continue on in the judiciary? You went to the executive branch, and then, so what made you decide to join the AFP? When did you join the AFP?
I joined the AFP after a year after he joined AFP.
And how many years after marriage yun? That's important, yung point na yun eh.
2011, so about mga almost 10 years then. Almost 10. Kasi we usually do things together.
Ah, okay.
So, doon sa preview kanina, nag-aral kami ng baking. So, most of the time, ginagawa namin, magkasabay kami. And
Pero
then,
I mean, yung baking, ibang-iba ho yan sa pagsali sa AFP. Yung training ng baking, medyo masaya. Ito, AFP yung sinali ninyo, iba yung training sa AFP. So, medyo, how did you end up, both of you, after 10 years of marriage, joining the AFP?
siya muna, on Saturday, he was about to leave in a military uniform. So I asked him, sabi ko, ba't ka naka-military uniform kay Papa Bayan, yung father niya? Kasi his father used to be a military soldier. And then, ang bati lang niya, do I look good in the uniform? Sabi ko, ano ka? Sabi ko. And then finally, he revealed that he applied as a reservist and was already accepted. In fact, he was reporting that day.
So he never told you that he would apply for a position in the AFP?
No, he just surprised me wearing the
Naka-uniform
uniform
siya.
and he was about to go out already to report. So, ayun, nagalit ako. Sabi ko, why?
Nagalit kayo?
Sabi ko kasi, I'm a martial law baby. So,
So your image of the military, being a martial law baby, was not so good?
It was not so good. And even my father said na, these people are people na you should not assimilate yourself with. Kasi,
That's interesting, yes.
yun. And then, kaya ano ko sa kanya, sabi ko, why are you exposing our yung security ng family unnecessarily? Yun, tapos, every day, almost every day, every week, kukulitin niya ako to go with him para mag-reservist din ako. He would explain to me what it is all about. Kasi daw, naghahanap kami ng community service. Sabi niya, ma, dito tayo sumama kasi itong community service ito, pero itong lugar na to may structure, may disiplina, at saka sigurado ka na yung work na ibibigay mo, mapupunta sa gobyerno at hindi dun sa kalaban.
Sir, Colonel Andy, how influential was your father's being in the military for you to join the reservists? May epekto ba yun sa inyo?
In one way, sir, yes. I was brought up in a military way, wherein I saw how my father disciplined us, and I was impressed with the discipline and standards of a military officer. So that is why when there was a period in my life that I was looking for an organization where I can, which can help me, share my blessings in the community by way of outreach program or charity works. So both of us were searching for an organization, but what we found is that some persons are using it for their selfish motives or hidden agenda. So I remembered my father, who died 2006 already. So I remembered him encouraging me or convincing me to join the reserve force. So with that, I saw the different, the far different discipline from other professions, of a military
So
man.
that's a very interesting point of view that you brought out. Instead of joining in a civic action or civic group where you don't know the motives sometimes of that civic act or NGO, you call it NGO. So you just went back and recalled what your father told you na kung sasali ka lang ng mga people join Rotary, people join, I'm not saying that it's not, but people join these civic groups. So instead of giving your time for this, you decided to go and join the reservist force.
Yes, sir.
And how did you convince your wife to, kasi ano siya eh, she was a martial law baby. She had a bad image of the military because, you know, she grew up during that era. And then, yun, nagalit pa nga siya sa inyo nung biglang naka-uniforme kayo.
Yes, sir. May kita naman niya sa akin kung paano naman ako mag-manage ng family, no, as a father and as a husband. So nakita naman niya since I grew up in a military way, sir. So maybe that one way or another I convinced her. Then ito, in a reserve force, it is a well-structured organization and instilling a discipline. So she also joined.
Wow, that's really nice. I'd like to give you a gift because it's Valentine's and you're first couple that I interviewed here. So we will be giving you a gift certificate to Sage Leaf Hotel sa Camp Kanawan where you can bring your family. And
Thank you very much.
And for the televiewers, we're going to show this video before we go to the break so that you'll know where we're going to host you. Please show the video. Welcome back to Libertas. This is Tonino Habana with our couples in service. Both of them are in the military and both of them are lawyers, and Colonel Andy De Vera is actually in the judiciary, a high-ranking position, and Diane De Vera, Colonel De Vera is actually with the executive branch but also working as a lawyer. So, mapunta tayo dun sa service ninyong dalawa. So you were able to convince her to join the reservist, the AFP basically, and how long did it take you to convince her? Umabot ba ng ilang buwan o ilang taon? Kasi she was against your joining the AFP. Ulitin natin, yung reservist po, walang bayad.
Yes, sir.
So isang dagdag yun eh.
Yes, sir.
Yung reservist, walang bayad. They're working as, si Colonel Andy De Vera is with the judiciary, pero he wanted to give additional service to the country by joining the AFP Reserve Force. So, how many months before you started to join?
Well, siguro mga less than a month, they had the mission already. And kasi it's parang part of the caravan, there's medical mission, and then may mga lawyers giving advices. Sinama na niya ako kasi
As an observer?
as a participant,
Participant already.
Kasi during that time, we were really looking for a group kung saan kami pwede mag-community service. And then he said nga, like he usually tells me, subukan mo muna bago ka humindi kasi tingnan mo how it is run and then you decide if you want to join or not. So, yun yung simula.
So what was it in that community service and where was that you were convinced na okay pala itong ginagawa ni Andy?
The first mission I attended was in Parañaque.
Parañaque.
It was a medical mission.
So
and
not a
then
dangerous mission,
No,
not a
it's-
dangerous area. So you were doing outreach basically?
we were basically doing outreach program, and then the one that came after that was yung cleaning ng sa may Rojas Boulevard because there was a storm. So we brought the troops, and as officers, nililid namin yung mga tao, and yun, nilinis namin yung area.
So you felt good after that? You
I-
said, okay pala itong ginagawa ng asawa ko, hindi pala gumagawa ng ibang...
At that time, parang hindi naman pala ganun ka-dangerous. And yun nga, nakakatulong kami.
Okay.
Kaya sumama naman ako sa
Okay.
kanila.
As lawyers, you're highly educated, umabot na kayo, Juris Doctor ba yung degree, di ba? And then, as a reservist, you have to go through additional training, additional lectures, additional education, di ba? And how was that for you? Is it complementary to what you're doing, or is it parang bago, completely new, or sir, how did you feel about that?
It really complements our leadership skills. It enhanced our leadership skills, and we were able to use and adapt this training in our civilian work. So,
Can you narrate to us a certain training that the AFP gave you that you were able to use in your job, or that you were able to use in your assessment, in your analysis of things in your job in the judiciary po?
we are graduates of the Command and General Staff course, in Command and General Staff College in Camp Emilio Aguinaldo. So this course enhanced our organizational and leadership skills. So there were lectures and actual planning, strategic and ground.
Parang if
Yeah.
I were to describe the course sa ordinary person, yung GSC kasi, it's a course given for officers na magiging battalion commanders. So basically, yung training there is more on organization. Kung i-value ko siya sa civilian, para kang nag-AIM management.
Okay.
Ganon. Basically,
Okay.
ganon yung mga subjects namin with an additional thing na sa military on how to plan a military mission.
Okay. And so, apart from that, did you have to, basic question, pinagapang ba kayo? Pinadaan ba kayo sa obstacle course? Pinabaril ba kayo?
Sa entry level,
Sa entry level,
ginawa namin yon for
So-
us to be able to enter yung military. Kasi lahat naman should learn yung basic soldiering. So yun yung primary.
Okay, pinagmarcha kayo.
Oo naman. Pinagmarcha din kami,
how
pinag-hike
did that
kami.
feel? I mean, I'm not disclosing kung ano yung mga position nyo in government service. You're lawyers, basically. You're highly educated. And then, I interviewed two sergeants here who are in charge of the training. They were telling me that they're tough on the people that join the training. So how did that feel for you? Being highly educated, and then there's this old, gruffy sergeant telling you, gumapang ka pa, kulang pa, tumakbo pa kayo ng 2 kilometro.
Sa akin, hindi siya ganun kahirap because
You're both physically fit.
yes, we're both, and kami talaga, into sports kami.
Okay.
At saka when we joined, buo na yung loob na namin na we know that we have to go through all these things to get in.
I see. How about you, sir?
Yes.
Hindi ba nasaktan yung pride ninyo na
Hindi.
ano kayo?
Actually, hindi naman po dahil when I joined the reserve force, wala na po sa akin yung kung ano yung position ko sa government.
Okay.
No, so I underwent the usual training of the military. Then because I was my father ko nga, di ba? So I was brought up in the military way. So I was already exposed at a young age, being with the military friends of my father.
So it was a humbling experience, or it teaches you to be humble, and how do you describe that feeling? Kasi sa society natin, we're highly structured, di ba? So yung hierarchy natin is based on status, education, and so on. And then here you are, you join the reserve, and then you have to go through this physical training, di ba, under sergeants, and then have to go retraining with military education.
Kasi 'di ba service is humility.
Yes.
So, pagka pumasok ka sa isang organization, you have to learn yung kung ano yung requirement. And the basic requirement there is you should know basic soldiering. So, kailangan matutunan mo lahat ng ano. Kasi like ang isang reservist, when you go on a medical mission, you should also learn how to extricate yourself. Kasi kung hindi ka marunong to extricate yourself, magiging pabigat ka pa dun sa mga regular soldiers na magdadala sa inyo.
You are now Lieutenant Colonels. So when you joined the reservist force, what rank did you occupy at that time nung sumali kayo?
When I joined the reserve force, my initial rank was a major.
Okay.
I
And
was
you also?
I was always a major.
then eventually commissioned as a lieutenant colonel for that.
And you had to go through the same commission procedure as a regular member of the AFP?
In a way, yes. But my entrance I was promoted as lieutenant colonel after taking Masters in National Security Administration. I took that course using my civilian status.
Okay.
So after graduating from
So
MNSA,
that's a master's degree, basically.
it's a master's degree, and you are entitled to have a rank of lieutenant colonel after you graduate.
Okay. So it's in line. What did you program that?
Well, it was Lieutenant Colonel Marquez who told me na there's an MNSA. If you want, you'll get a promotion, LTC, but at the same time, it is also a master's degree which you can use for your 201 file sa civilian government.
And okay, you mentioned that MNSA, Masters in National Security. How did that complement your work as a lawyer?
Kasi kami lawyers, alam yun sarado yung tingin mong ganyan eh. You just look at the law, titingnan mo yung elements, kung pumapasok and everything. Pero because of MNSA, I was able to appreciate more yung cases. Kasi sa MNSA, they teach you about yung national security. So, ang appreciation ko ngayon ng cases is different. Ang kikita ko yung mga malilit na cases that I used to say na, di kahon lang yan, okay na yan. Now, I put more effort in it because I know that small case eventually will lead to national security.
Okay, I'm going to read 3 text messages, pinagsama ko lang. Yung isa, kamusta daw yung annulment sa service? First question. Second question is, paano ba sumali sa reservist? At saka third question, yung bang training ng lalaki at babae sa reservist, pareho lang ba? Pareho lang. Kung pinagapang si mister, gagapang din si Mrs. Yung annulment, sa tingin ko, ewan ko kung anong ibig sabihin sa annulment.
That's the personal life of the military.
Kung paano sumali,
Ito, may isang interesting question. Paano nagtagal yung relationship ninyo? Iba yun. Iba nagtanong yun. Hindi isa yan. Iba yung nagte-text. Dami na nga nagte-text eh. Ang sweet yung isa. Wow, magic. Paano tumatagal yung relationship ninyo? Isipin ninyo, from Monday to Friday, nagtatrabaho kayo, full-time mom, full-time dad. Tapos Saturday, di-devote nyo pa sa AFP. Pagkatapos minsan, pati linggo kung out of town yung trip. Diba? So, paano nagtatagal yung relationship ninyo? How is it strengthened by this service that you're doing?
For me, we find time for all of this. We see to it that my work, my being a reserve officer, and my being a good father of the family or hands-on father.
Hindi ba nagre-reklamo yung mga anak nyo dahil di na kayo nakikita? O baka...
Hindi naman po kasi my services in the reserve force is actually is just in a typical Saturday, no? So in Mondays to Friday work, then Sundays family day.
Are your kids proud of you?
oh yes, they would want us to go to their schools in our uniform.
Really? Talaga?
Pero sabi namin, we cannot do that kasi pag may mission lang, tsaka lang kami pwede magsuot ng uniform.
Okay, let's discuss dangerous missions. So, of course, you go to dangerous areas doing your missions. Sir, hindi ba kayo kinakabahan na yung misis ninyo pupunta sa, let's say the most dangerous place you went to was where? Basilan? Pumunta si misis sa Basilan, dun sa kampo ng malapit sa Abu Sayyaf. Hindi ba kayo kinakabahan? Sa loob ng kampo ng Abu Sayyaf, may mission. Hindi ba kayo kinakabahan?
Before we undertake or we execute the mission, sir, may ano naman yan may coordination, may planning, no? It's a long plan with all the military assets. So secured naman po yung place. So for us, we are also encouraged to bring our own firearms. But pagdating naman po doon, so surrounded naman by mga uniform armed AFP troops.
Okay, we'll be going for the break, but before we go for the break, I'll ask you a question you can answer after. How do you express your love for each other while you are in uniform? So, this is Tonino Habana. Don't go away. This is Libertas. Welcome back to Libertas. This is Tonino Habana with our very interesting guests, our Valentine guests. So before the break, I asked them, they're both in uniform. How do you express your love for one another while you're both in uniform?
Pag naka-uniform, of course, walang PDA.
Walang PDA, yung
Walang public display of affection.
Hindi pwedeng maghalikan, hindi pwedeng mag-holding hands,
Wala,
akbayan.
bawal. But I think being together and doing things na gusto nung isa, I think that's already expressed.
Baka naman sa tingin, pwede na.
Pwede na sa kinda.
Sakit. Ang daming mga tanong dito. How many kids do you have? I'm really curious. Isa nagtanong.
We have three
Three kids.
girls and a boy.
As lawyers, are you involved with yung things to protect yung Spratlys and West Philippine Sea? Are you involved in any of that kind of work? Ito yung text ng isa.
Well, as sa civilian work namin.
Yeah. Or in public work, whatever.
Well, sa civilian work, it's part of our office.
Talagang yun ang trabaho ninyo.
May ganon, may department na involved dyan. While yung sa military naman, sa Philippine Seas wala po masyado. But yung sa Marawi, sa Basilan, we really participate doon sa mga issues na ganon.
Okay, isang tanong dito, naniniwala ba kayo sa forever? Sir, ikaw, nag-text kaya tinatanong ko, sir, naniniwala ka ba sa forever? Please use the mic.
Sorry. Ano po yung forever? Forever love?
Forever together, ganun.
Yes, sir. We are enjoying one another. My wife is very supportive in all my endeavors. She's always there. Ayun, tingin ko, okay naman kami. So, although it's normal in married life na may arguments, especially we are lawyers, no? So, but we were able to overcome that.
Do you believe in forever, ma'am?
Oo naman. Naniniwala naman ako doon. It's, you have to work it out.
Okay, this is my question now. Who outranks who? Nakikita ko pareho yung ranko ninyo. But alam ko, in the ranking, merong someone outranks the other. You can tell me who outranks each other sa AFP and then sa bahay kung sino outranks the other.
We don't compete. No? So
okay.
Actually, we don't compete. We have our own specialization. So also in the reserve force, we have our own positions or different brigades now, especially now. She's in the first task brigade, and I am in the Civil Military Affairs Brigade. So, hindi naman po kami nagko-conflict on that aspect.
What do you consider to be your most dangerous mission, yung experience niyo? What was the most dangerous mission that you participated in? If you're allowed to mention that in public. Maybe we can start with you, ma'am, kasi kayo yung woman.
Well, almost all missions naman kasi is dangerous and risky for us when we start wearing the uniform. Kasi yung group threats nandyan na lahat. Pero sa akin, the most dangerous mission was the one in Basilan in 2016. Um, we I went in a private commercial plane kasi late kasi it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday affair. So nag-fly in kami ng Saturday morning. Baba kami ng Zamboanga and then we rode a speedboat and cross Basilan Strait. Na tatlo lang yung escort namin na soldiers.
Wow.
So medyo risky na yan. And then when we got
You were
there,
in uniform.
we were in uniform. And then when we got to Basilan, we meet up with the first group. Pumasok kami dun sa area mismo ng MILF. Kasi nagbigay kami ng medical mission sa loob, nagdala kami ng mga medicines, may mga seedlings kami, and a lot of other things, no? Sa mission, ang aming parang clientele are residents doon na mga MILF. So, dun sa loob nung camp kung saan kami nagme-medical mission, kasama namin yon, mga naka-full battle gear sila lahat. Naka-cordon nga ang AFP dito, pero beyond that, ang ASG threat was there. Kaya,
So, sir, were you worried when she was there nung nandun siya sa Basilan conducting this mission?
Before she went to Basilan, I was there already.
So you had
So
a
I had-
similar mission.
Yes, a year, no, a year
A year
before that,
previous that,
no,
yeah.
when she went. So I already experienced that. Secured naman po. No, pagpunta namin, sinecure naman ng AFP troops. So we were able to deliver or conduct the civil military operations peacefully. No, we were able to conduct the medical mission, the tuli, the dental, and we were able
Pero
to...
hindi mo pa rin matatanggal sa sarili mo yung kakabahan ka rin, di ba?
Yes, sir. It's part of already of volunteerism and the excitement and adventure. And,
you won't deny the fact that you were worried that your wife was in Basilan. At, although went there a year before, pero situation change all the time. Di ba?
Yes, sir. Especially during the time that when we were there in Basilan, our brigade were there. From where we were conducting our mission, we could hear the fires of rifles, the guns, and the cannons, mortars coming from the exchanges, coming from the
So
AFP troops.
may encounter na nangyayari
Yes,
while you were
during
in the
yes,
camp.
opo, may encounter.
In your case.
In my case
So
po.
medyo delikado talaga yung lugar na
Delicado,
pinuntahan.
friends from our classmates in the MNSA were calling us or calling me. Sabi niya, "Bro, medyo delikado dyan, ingat ka." Ganon. So, okay naman po, nakauwi naman ng maayos.
Yeah. So ito babasahin ko lang yung mga pagsasamahin ko lahat ng text. Yung isa tinatanong, how long have you been married?
We got married December 29, 1998. So,
Malapit na ang anniversary niya.
Yes po.
And then yung isa nagtanong, anong payo ninyo sa kabataan na gustong maging katulad ninyo? Anong payo niyo sa mga kabataan na gustong maging katulad ninyo?
katulad namin
As
katulad sa
reservists, as
couple.
couples, as people who serve the country, and
I think it's enjoying the same things, yung like service, sports, ganyan yun yung ginagawa namin. And then, kung ano yung hilig nung isa, siguro, you try to learn it, try to do it with him, para, magustuhan mo din. Like now, nagustuhan ko yung sa military, and
so partners talaga kayo in all aspects, from baking to going to Basilan.
Basically, pareho kami na ginagawa, pero magkaiba din. Like yung sa kanya, we're both lawyers, but he serves the judiciary, I serve the executive department. Sa cooking, he's with culinary, I'm with baking. Yung mga ganun.
Pero complementary.
Complementary. There's still something to talk about.
I think you're very good spokespersons for the reservist force. Kasi ang daming text dito, how do you join the reservist? Paano ba sumali dyan, sir? Ma'am.
Just visit the AFP Reserve Command
Saan po makikita yun? Kasi they want
in
details.
Camp Emilio Aguinaldo in Quezon City. And apply. No?
Kung sa probinsya po, meron pa bang ibang places that they can...
There are other reserve commands, like the Army Reserve Command, the Navy Reserve Command, and the Air Force Reserve Command. So they can also visit those camps.
Okay. Ito, ha? May Facebook page, so you can also,
Yeah, well, I belong with the AFRESCOM, AFP Reserve Command,
so pwede sila magtanong
First
doon.
Task Brigade. May Facebook account kami, try to Google it, try to search for it pala. And
Anong
then,
pangalan? Afresco?
First Task, First Technical Administrative Services.
Okay. 2 questions. How was your Valentine yesterday? Did you go out on a date? Tanong nila dito eh. Oo. And the second question is more meaty is, have you ever dealt with the third party? Ito yung text eh. Paano kayong nagtagal as a couple? And in line with that, paano nyo hinahandle kung may third party? Kung meron man. Ito nag-text mga nagtatext dito eh. Kayo talagang mga nanonood. Kung ano-anong intrigang inaano niyo.
On her part, wala naman po eh. So trust, actually, marriage is a trust and confidence relationship. No? So, kahit saan siya pumunta, bigyan mo lang ng space for her to grow, no, support her in all in their endeavors, para pareho kayo mag-grow.
So, ang bilis ng oras natin, sir, ma'am. Gusto kong bigyan kayo ng pagkakataon. You have a minute each to give your parting words, to give your love advice, to give your advice on how they want to serve. And maybe we can start with you, ma'am.
Well, now, the country is faced with a lot of challenges. And the government alone, at saka military, hindi kakayanin ng government. So, on your own, you should try to find a way to do your little service. Ako, as a mother, ang advice ko sa youth, ang trabaho nyo ay mag-aral, pumasok sa eskwelahan, and to be aware of what is happening around you. And of course, do your little things sa pagtulong sa environment, sa government, ganyan. Tulong-tulong lang kayo, but your primary role is to study. Tapos, I encourage you to join yung ROTC. Kasi dun sa ROTC, you learn about discipline, you learn about leadership, and of course, patriotism. Dun sa adults naman, if you're looking for community service, I suggest you take yung reservist challenge. Kung hindi naman yung kakayanin in terms of physical, kasi medyo may edad na or may kapansanan, supportahan nyo kami, like sa medical mission namin, bigyan nyo ng magpadala kayo ng pwede namin ipadala sa mga places like Marawi, Basilan. We always have these projects kasi sa far-flung areas, ang government is the military. Kung hindi yan mapasok kasi ng mga doctors eh, ang mga reservist militaries lang, tsaka yung mga doctors na militaries, kami lang yung nakakapasok sa loob. So kung madadala namin ito sa loob, yung mga binibigay nyo, malalaman nila na ang government is pinaalagaan yung welfare nila. Basically, yun ang sa akin.
Sir?
For me, joining the military service is a way of life. It's an ultimate service to our country. It is how we show our patriotism and volunteerism. Okay. In modern times, now, not present, youth, we tend now to this change, it has changed. We tend to defy the law instead of propagating it. We tend to forget our history, as Filipinos. So, I think I encourage you to join the reserve force. This is a good platform for you, wherein you can have it will enhance your discipline. And maybe this is one way of defending our sovereignty. We must bear in mind that the Constitution mandates us, no, all of us, no, as a Filipino, to render service, no, to protect our country.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. To end this, I'd like to read a quote from Friedrich Nietzsche, who's a German philosopher. It's not a lack of love, but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages. Good evening to everybody. This is Tonino Habana, signing off, Libertas.